Okay, so in this video, I'm just going to look at absorbing a strike. Okay, I'm not especially wonderful at this, so and other arts have developed this a lot more, like Systema. But what I think Aiki has to offer is looking at what happens when the energy of the strike is absorbed and allowed to run through the whole body, as opposed to just a portion of it. So I'll try and demonstrate that. So if Mike strikes my shoulder, okay, if I absorb that a portion of my body, what happens? My hand comes up and returns it to him. If you strike the other side, right? So if you look at the movement of energy through my body there, if we just go through this slowly, what's happened is come in and my shoulder has yielded to it, and that yielding has run through down to about my waist and through into my knees, and on the tail end of that, my arm has come up and struck. So we'll just go through that and it's come up, okay? And that's fine. It's kind of, karmic. Interestingly, he's getting back the energy he's putting out very directly. But it's a bit kind of Laurel and Hardy, two of them, whacking each other. So it's also not holistic. I'm not receiving the energy for all my body. It's running down to about my knees, and then it's stopping. I'm not allowing the energy to travel through my feet into the ground and allowing it to move my feet. So if I do that, it gets a slightly different reaction. So now I'll do it with where it's moving through the whole body if you strike. And it's interesting that it doesn't result in a strike coming back his way. It results in a more Aiki move if you strike again with that. So there's no, that energy, that striking energy, that will to damage me, is turned into a peaceful response to Michael just by allowing it to run through my whole body as opposed to a portion of it. Because when it's going through a portion, if you strike, please, it's like he hits and it jars up at a certain point and then it fires back. But when it goes through the totality of it, so that's just an interesting observation about that. Just further to that last video, there's lots of ways to practice to develop that without striking. So Mike can just put his hand on my chest and push, and I'll have a go at absorbing from here. Or he can put his hand on my shoulder and push down, and it gets me into the habit of not being fixed on trying to stay stood up, but yielding vertically to his energy and allowing myself to drop to the floor. Oops, didn't quite get that one. Or you can do it in other parts. He can put his hand on my fist into my hip and push. So you don't have to do it from striking. There's lots of really interesting ways. You could stand behind me as well and pull on my shoulders. See if I can get this. Yeah, I sort of missed. That's all right. So there's lots of ways to develop it in a soft way. They don't have to build up to doing striking with it.